Welcome or welcome back to the Lockwood Chronicles. My name is Larissa and today we're doing our January TBR, baby! First video of 2025, we obviously have to start with the TBR. We have so many videos to do this month, but we won't get into that right now because this is the most important video, is the 2025 January TBR. I have 7 books that I would love to read this month. Very exciting news. I did decide to register for Sports Romance Con. I don't know why in my head I thought it was going to be like 10 to 20 authors. No, it's almost 100. I think it's 93 authors are scheduled right now. For some reason in my head I'm like, oh, I can just like easily read one from each author. Nope. So we're picking and choosing. As much as I would love to read one from each author, there are some authors that I do love that are going and I would like to read some of their works. Trying to also include some authors that I haven't read from. I thought I was a sports romance connoisseur. And after looking at the list and only recognizing like, I think 5 authors from that, I don't know anything. Sports? What are they? Am I an athlete? Apparently not. Yes, there are more sports romance authors that will not be attending, but for some reason in my head, I thought I had read a lot of authors that wrote sports romance and my life is a lie. Well, let's get to it. You guys, I'm serious this month. I'm 100% seriously going to read this book this month. And I know I said that last month and the month before that, but this is for real this time. And that is Ledge by Stacey McEwen. The reason I did not read this in December is because for my December book club, for my romantasy, we read a thriller to like mix it up for girlies who aren't really big into the romantasy genre. And the said girly that chose the thriller didn't even read the book that she chose. So there was only like 4 or 5 of us that read the actual book out of like 12 girls. So we decided to go back to the roots of the romantasy genre, thank goodness. I was like, hey, why don't we read Ledge by Stacey McEwen? I follow her on TikTok. She's so funny and I've been really wanting to get into this series a lot. And it's short, which is perfect for like the holidays, people being busy at the beginning of the year. Everyone's like, yes, absolutely. So it is going to happen this month. I promise. Like I pinky promise. I will be reading this month because I have to, because I chose it for book club. I almost hesitated choosing it suggesting it because I wanted to read it in December so badly. Felt like everybody would potentially get to this one a little bit easier and it was a little bit more digestible because like this is short. Part of the GLA Trilogy, it's in a place known as the Ledge. A civilization is trapped by a vast chasm and sheer mountain face. Rations are small, living is tough, and there is no way to escape without befalling a deathly drop. What's more, every season, the people must present themselves as a human sacrifice to the Glacians, mysterious winged creatures who reside beyond the Ledge. And blah blah blah. That's all we want to know. So, hot winged men or hot winged people throw people off a ledge for population control or something like that. Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney. I really like Alice Feeney as an author. I got this with Book of the Month. I think it actually is released this month, but I got it early. I'm not really sure about that. Don't quote me on that. Author Grady Green is having the worst best day of his life. He calls his wife Abby to share some exciting news as she is driving home. He hears Abby slam on the brakes when she sees something in the road ahead. Over Grady's protest, Abby gets out of the car. When he eventually finds her car by the cliff edge and the headlights are on, the driver's door is open, her phone is still there. But his wife has disappeared. 8 years later, Grady is still overcome with grief and desperate to know what happened to Abby. He can't sleep and he can't write, so he travels to a tiny remote Scottish island to try to get his life back on track. And then he sees the impossible, a woman who looks exactly like his missing wife. You guys, I didn't even read the synopsis when I picked this out as my book of the month. I saw it was Alice Feeney. I really like the cover and I put add to box, make my book of the month. Next up, we have The Ministry of Time by Callian Bradley. Callian? In the near future, a civil servant is offered the salary of her dreams to work on a top secret project. A recently established government ministry is gathering expats from across history to establish whether time travel is feasible for the human body, but also for a fabric of space-time. She is tasked with working as a bridge, living with, assisting, and monitoring an expat known as 1847, or Commander Graham Gore. As far as history is concerned, Commander Gore died on Sir John Franklin's doomed 1845 expedition to the Arctic. So he's a little disoriented to be living with an unmarried woman who regularly shows her calves, surrounded by outlandish concepts such as washing machines, Spotify, and the collapse of the British Empire. But with an appetite for discovery, a 7-a-day cigarette habit, and the support of a charming and chaotic cast of fellow expats, he soon adjusts. I've heard everybody really loves this, loves the writing. And then let's get into the books that I do not physically own. All the Colors of the Dark. Book of the Month has this for cheaper than buying it on like Amazon or elsewhere. So that's going to be in my January Book of the Month box, which is not with me currently. This is the book club choice from my friend Sam, who she chose for my other book club. Well, she gave us 2 options and we all decided on this one. And I'm really excited about it. It sounds really good. Grab my handy dandy iPad and actually like read from it. Let's read it this way because it looks more like a book. A soaring thriller and an epic love story that spans decades. 1975 is a time of change in America. The Vietnam War is ending, Muhammad Ali is fighting Joe Frazier, and in a small town of Monte Clara, Missouri, girls are disappearing. When the daughter of a wealthy family is targeted, the most unlikely hero emerges, Patch, a local boy with one eye, who saves the girl and in doing so leaves heartache in his wake. Patch and those who love him soon discover that the line between triumph and tragedy has never been finer, and that their search for answers will lead them to truths that could mean losing one another. Sam was saying she's been hearing nothing but good things and it's been all over her feed. I'm surprised it's not all over mine. Obviously, Onyx Storm is on there, and that is the 3rd book in, what is it called? I'm so confused as to why the actual name of the series is never on the cover. Onyx Storm is the 3rd book in whatever series that it is, you know, 4th Wing, Iron Flame. This comes out on my birthday and I'm really excited. 4th Wing, absolutely loved it. I loved Iron Flame too. I know it was like the same thing over and over, but I think I was just so immersed while reading it, on a hype and on a high from just having it in my possession. I truly enjoyed it. I understand the gripes that people had with it and thinking it was more of like a filler book, but honestly, I really liked it. My only complaint was Adarna wasn't in it as much. And I'm really excited for Onyx Storm, and I can't wait to get back into the universe. I do want to re-listen to 4th Wing and Iron Flame this month as well, so we'll kind of loosely include those. It's not I don't have to, but I would like to, just to refresh. As I stated, I'm going to Sports Romance Con, which is being held here in Minneapolis. And I think it's like the last weekend of February / first weekend of March. So whatever, like the 28th, 1st and 2nd. I would like to read from those authors. Sweet Collide by Ava Harrison, the Saints of Redville series. A standalone hockey romance. Aiden Slate, pro hockey star, captain of the Redville Saints, and the bane of my existence. All it takes is a little liquid courage to storm his castle, or, in this case, a cushy 5-star hotel suite. I'm supposed to give him a piece of my mind, to unleash a decade of pent-up anger. What I'm not supposed to do is sign an NDA meant for another woman. He thinks I'm here to relieve his stress. Well, he's in for a rude awakening. Problem number 1? The boy I grew up with doesn't even remember me. Problem number 2, I fall to my knees at his command. Literally. Next thing I know, I agree to be his fake girlfriend. He doesn't realize that I'm the girl he left behind 10 years ago. The last thing I'll do is admit it, because Aiden might have abandoned me all those years ago, but me, I'll forever be his. That sounds so good. That was the first time reading through that synopsis. That sounds really fun. And then the next book is Face Off, which is part of the DC Stars series, which is by Chelsea Curto. And she is, again, one of the other authors that is going to be there. Emerson, or Emmy, Hartwell has waited for a spot on an NHL roster since she became a professional hockey player. And this season, she'll finally get a chance to showcase her talents with the struggling DC Stars. Oh, I'm excited. I remember hearing about this one. Maverick Miller is the best player in the league, but he's never had a winning record. Team captain and desperate to turn things around, he agreed to play nice with the fiery new left winger, even though they're total opposites. After a night where the tension between them reaches a tipping point and they fall in bed together, Emmy and Maverick vow it was only one time. Just once, to get it out of their system so they can play better and help their team. It doesn't mean anything. She doesn't date hockey players. He's a notorious playboy who doesn't date, period. Except what should have been just once happens again, then again. They tell each other their friends with benefits arrangement is only for the season, but despite facing off on the ice behind closed doors, the pair is nothing but fire. Oh, that sounds so good. Oh, I'm so excited. Yes, I realize this is a lot of hockey romances. That's what I gravitate towards during the season anyway, but I feel like most of the authors on there that I looked briefly were primarily hockey romance authors or had a hockey romance as like their first in the series. If you do happen to look at the list of authors who are attending the Sports Romance Con and like you think I would enjoy one of them, or you know a sports romance author that I would enjoy, please drop it down in the comments below because I would love to read more sports romance because apparently I don't read any. Ooh, oh no, okay. I have two more, possibly. I really want to start rereading some of my favorite and especially some of my teenage year favorites, and I would really love to reread the Twilight series. I want to tandem read Twilight with Midnight Sun because they are in the same time frame, except, you know, one is Bella's point of view and the other one is Edward's, and I think it would just be really fun. January is when she transfers to Forks, Washington. I think it would be really fun to start the year and like into the season that she's in. Let me know if you want me to vlog any of these books, even the tandem read if I get to it. I would love to know that, just so I am filming stuff that you guys want to see. Otherwise I'll just kind of like vibe with what I feel might be best. Now I'm done. I'm excited. What is on your TBR for January? I would love to know. And I hope the start of the year is starting off on a kick-ass note. And if not, I hope it's going slowly and gently into 2025. And even if it's not going well so far, or you're not looking forward to 2025, we still have books. We still have reading. If you want to stick around, feel free to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any other bookish content like reading vlogs and TBRs and wrap-ups and all of that jazz. As well as like this video. I would greatly appreciate it. And with that being said, respect others, respect yourself, and do something amazing with your day. Thanks, bye!